So, into the crystalline for all of us, not just the channel, is the point in which we expand into our greater multi-dimensional structure. As us, as this living, breathing one human here, are remembering all this greater expansive network that is us in a space of arrangement and rearrangement as love, as unity, through this kind of really profound experience that we're in. And this is what happens when new timelines emerge, right? So let's say that our single point of human had these addresses of experiences, right? How to get to work, how to love ourselves, how to be a friend, right? How to be a human being, right? How to have this relationship, how to connect to God, how to see you, how to see myself, right? How to live, how to breathe, how to be, how to do, how to go to work. What is my purpose? What are my skill sets? What is my life path? And what happens when we're starting to create new pathways is that we stop dialing these certain routes, right? So what happens? We don't go to that old relationship. We don't go to that old job. We don't go to that old thought. We don't go to that old friend. We don't go to that old community. We don't share in that way. We don't learn in that way, right? We don't live as that way. We don't breathe as that way. We don't be as that way. We don't do as that way. This is the restructuring. And a part of this reorganization at times is going, hey, that can move over here, right? And that can go up there, and this can go over there, and that which is, discordant can come to love, and that which is loud can be quiet, and that which needs more coherence can have more coherence. And all of this is what this kind of feeling of chaos can represent, because the geometries are finding a new fluid motion through love, and through coherence. Coherence at the end of the day is making sense. Coherence is things being able to talk and to communicate, which is why things can feel kind of frazzled, fray, or confusing when there is no coherence, which means that our morphogenetic field, right, our coherent, loving light through the human form is a part of this great restructuring. So you're the one that's actually doing all this at this level, right? At this greater level, and at this really kind of sometimes seemingly small level, right? Now, the power to get this entire thing moving, the power to get this whole thing happening is a part of a multi-dimensional merger of I can at here and I can up here. That's where divine will meets with us and offers us an opportunity to see ourselves living, breathing, and being this new life path as one coherent and harmonic unit. As the soul, as the universe, as the monad. One. Just one. So yes, this can be very complex, right? But when we bring all these fibers, all these strands, all these codes, all these colors, all these geometries into one filament, one fiber of light that is source, it simplifies. So yes, through esoteric studies and books and tradition and religion and all this stuff, we've created a very complex set of rules here on planet Earth. But God, creator source, is pretty simple. It just chose to fractalize itself to play the game of parts here on planet Earth. So it's always been one, it's always been coherent, it's always been harmonic, but density is what experiences the discord. It's what experiences the separation. It's what experiences the disconnect. It's what has this polarity game, the trauma, drama, survival mode experience. And so what is it to thrive as we move up the ladder and ping ourselves into new directions, new addresses, new experiences, so we can have coherence through our own structure, coherence in our own life path, and coherence in our own human. Because at the end of the day, your human is not meant to suffer, but it experiences polarity. Your human is not meant to struggle, but it faces adversity within systems. It's not meant to have this difficult of a life, but we've created that because we wanted the the expert level of complications and complexity to be a part of the confusion that is this experience. And so the more we simplify this whole thing and go, you are one beautiful ray, all colors and fibers meeting at one multidimensional experience that is connected to source through unity consciousness and love, the easier it gets. But to train the mind, to train the body, to train this experience, to go, oh yeah, God, creator, source, I am is easy and is simple, is a mastery all on its own. Because now we're activating feeling, we're activating heart, we're activating the field to just be. And the rest of it can do what it needs to do because the mind gets out of the way. The more we can allow this to kind of get out of the way and allow this to come through fully, the more fluidity will show up. So this is about how we start to harmonize fluidity through and down to you. So the greater I can meet you and empower the I can that is you to just keep going. To thrive, to create sustainability, to enjoy laugh, to live as love, right? And to experience harmony through the multidimensional axis and harmony through the fields again. So we are all this greater unity network waking up, and some days we're not firing on all cylinders, and I understand. I know what it's like knowing that I'm a really badass, right, Hemi, or a badass V12, right, super sport. And yet at times, I feel like the hybrid, or I feel like the inline four, or I feel like the lawnmower, and I'm just not firing in all cylinders. And so, as much as I laugh, it's a part of the human experience to be okay, right? In the natural experience of coherence and harmony, because the other thing too is how we interface with all these structures of life, okay? So this interfacing, which means this to here to that, is not always equanimous. It's not always coherent. It doesn't always make sense, and it doesn't always work together because we have misfires here. We have trust issues. We have things going on in society we don't like. We have opinions. We have stories. We have narratives. We have wars. We have libraries. We have Akashic records. We have a lot within this space. And even now, in a part of the human evolutionary cycle and in the human evolutionary blueprint, we now have this interface of organic life and tech, right? And all the wounds, wars, stories, and worries that come through from this, because there's concern, right? At times, this wasn't a free will route. At times, someone else was operating. Someone else was doing something. There was something else occurring. And so as a result, we're remembering, oh yeah, let's back off the story, step into observation, right? Unity, harmony, and trust in what's going on those greater monadic levels so the human can get out of the way and dissolve, right? It can trust again. Another thing here is about where in those misfires clarity can occur, which means that if there's a dialogue between two central points here, right, and they're not working, what illuminates that filament to bring the clarity and truth through down to here? So through that which is revealed to us, that which is seen for us, we can take action in a new way, because we're going to see between those 2 points where we can't see. What's been confusing, what's been illusory, right? It's revelation. As it comes down here, we have choice in what to do. So what are we choosing to do about that truth? Are we sharing the information, which some of us do? Are we taking new action, right? Are we choosing love? What are we doing from that space? The thing is that some of these things are still ping pongs. Yes, no, they did it, right? What happens is we can actually echo that fiber until we drop the story, learn the lesson, let go, and then create fluidity between that. It's that which is calling in unity within our experience, within our tribe, within our collective. And that experience you're either a part of, you're in the middle of it. Don't play monkey in the middle, unless you want to. That's free will choice. You can if you want to. Sometimes it can be fun. And other times we just get out of the way and we allow that signal to keep doing what it's doing until it just learns and it begins to now find harmony and coherence between those points of division. So the thing is that at times division can occur in our world, opposites, polarities doing what it's doing, and we can be caught in the middle, and it can feel like a lot. It can get us down, it can get us tired, it can get us depressed, it can make our life difficult, because essentially we're revolutionizing something. We're learning how to get through this experience, and sometimes we're enacting discord in our own lives because we're choosing to. So remember, anytime you're in here, you've agreed to be there. And at any point you could say null and void, get out of it, come back to unity, right? Bring this back to coherence, bring this back to platinum, bring this back to one, bring this back to diamond, right? You can do that. Because the fact is that within this space, not everything is always easy, because of the mind, because of the story, because of the way we've invented our lives, because of a lot. Sometimes the simplest thing to do is to walk away, to create the change, to remove yourself from the discord, to say, I don't have to argue, I don't have to fight. I can choose my harmony and happiness. I don't have to engage, because engagement in this experience is choice. But sometimes we land there from the unconsciousness because we didn't know we were playing in something until it starts to do what it's doing. But we can simply dissolve, remove, and come back to the one. Right? Harmonize with our own integrity, what's right for our being, what's right for ourselves, what's right for our journey, what's right for our molecular structure, so we can live as love again. So that which is seeking harmony is going to show up. It can get very loud, actually. And it will be confusing to navigate, but essentially it's saying, I need harmony, and you can choose harmony. By playing the experience of one as the discord does what it does, but then also looking at what creates the one or the simplicity within you, what creates harmony. For us, trees, they hold no judgment, right? Land, stable, just as it is. Now, sometimes environmentally, right? Like snow, rain, hurricanes, that's different. I get it. We have those elements that are doing that, but there are things that could bring us equanimity. There are things that can bring us coherence. There are things that can bring us oneness. There are things that can bring us simplicity. There's things that can bring us rest. There's things that can bring us respite, as we're dissolving the need to control outcomes, the need to control narratives, the need to control scenarios, and the need to control others. Because that's all a game and illusion as it is. We're just remembering through that whole experience and through this bigger image, through this greater journey, what is it is to just be one loving and harmonic experience that is unity consciousness. Okay. So this is where we have to treat ourselves with respect, treat ourselves with love, treat our journeys and our pathways just as we need to, and then being okay with the learning. The biggest thing lately has been being able to kind of turn into that which I'm resistant towards, or that which I'm going through. Even in a biochemical level, right? So it's like if I feel like I'm, depleted on dopamine, or I don't have enough love, turn into that. Rather than fighting that, turn into that. If I feel things going on in other realms or in other experiences because I'm tapped into that, or something going on in the collective, or something going off planet Earth that doesn't feel good, right? Okay, what can I do to just kind of breathe, stabilize, harmonize, and create the stability? Rather than expecting it, create that space. And so a part of that creating of space is going, okay, right? Perhaps it is, taking a deep breath. Perhaps it is sitting outside nature. Perhaps it is changing my environment. Perhaps, it is just kind of playing it out. It's a very unique experience for the soul and for the individual to live and to learn in this newer experience, and to create coherence and harmony in the journey, rather than to just expect it to occur, because it will. But there is this also creation point of awareness from within us going, oh yeah, I can, in my greater aspects, my greater field, my greater vision, create harmony here and now. And I can create a better journey, and I can create a better pathway, and I can lose the old narratives, and I can lose the old stories, and I can lose the old timelines and the old everything, and I can really awaken and emerge as one beautiful, loving, unified, conscious being. It is possible. So At times, I know in this journey, I can zoom out and see everything and go, wow, this is a lot, but I'm not meant to eat the elephant in one bite. Please don't eat elephants, okay? Which means that you don't have to take on the entire experience. You being birthed into this reality chose to take on density to learn. That's enough. You don't have to add more to the plate because you feel like that's the way moving forward. Unless you want to, that's fine. I mean, no judgment, you do you, boo. But there is this sense here to recognize that even though that this can be a lot, you don't need to take it all on because we all have our part to play, whether we like it or not. Some of us disagree with these parts. We disagree with these structures. We disagree with these stories. We disagree with this stuff. And that's okay too. We're learning to find our power. We're learning to find our authority. We're learning to respect ourselves again. Through that, we learn to respect others, to respect other people's authority, respect other people's power. And yes, I know this is kind of a tough one, but this is where we learn the unity in community, right? Or perhaps the unity in united, which is, it's not really united a lot, but that's just my opinion. Either way, the more we care about ourselves in this greater structure, the easier it's going to be to care about another again, including the opposites, including the difference, and including what the new geometries are bringing through. So all of this right now is a part of the passageway, the pass-through point into coherence and harmony in this next level of our journey. And it can feel like things are happening really quickly. It can feel like the movement can feel intense and or amplified, which means, hey, pay attention, right? Amplification means pay attention, because that's where we start to see that which we haven't been able to see, or know which we haven't been able to know. And then we can handle it. And a part of this is what brings resolve, resolution, what brings solution, what gives us an opportunity to work through this experience. And a part of this too is even through reorganization, we might not know, which is where then we don't have to figure it out. We can just kind of breathe, do as we will, and learn. And a part of this too is that some of these patterns, right, some of these things that have been blocking or limiting us can feel complex. Like if we were to take this one structure and look at this as a block and go, oh my gosh, all of that? Yeah, it's okay. That's dissolving. That's coming back into oneness. That's melting down into the single point of clarity. And this is also the thing that's realigning us to a completely new love-based solution in our own journey, and we can be okay with that. So whether this is you personally or this is the collective or the whole, the all that is, we're remembering how all of this can work together, but also how to dial into what the new addresses are, because this is when novel comes in. This is when new comes in. This is where we start to see things that happen. This is where change occurs. This is where evolution occurs. This is where inventiveness occurs, right? And this is also when we really do begin to find a new level of our experience that creates new opportunities to join and to live and to do with life in a completely new way. So I love you. Much love and respect to all of you out there. Thank you again for your likes, shares, and subscribes. And there's a lot of new. And so if you don't see me playing and enacting and doing the old or talking as the old, there's a reason why. It's because we're pinging new addresses. And it can be difficult, but this is what happens when new timelines emerge. And it's okay, because what was happening is we would enact an old tool, enact an old journey, and I got really loud because it was like, hey, let me go try this thing. It's like, no, don't do that, right? It's like doing this, and then God goes, no, okay, all right. Not from punishment, but from an alignment. Because your soul, your oversoul is having an experience, and it's aligning you, right, to new experiences. And sometimes, right, the clarion call isn't, hey, just go over here. Sometimes it's saying, do that, learn from it, let go, and do something new. And this is what begins to harmonize to what the new light and the new life represents for all of us, right? So take care of yourself. Propagate self-love in your journey, which for self can be, what is the loving thing to do? What is the most aligned thing to do, right? Do I need to take a moment to step back and listen? Do I have to pause? Do I have to reflect? Do I have to take action? What do I need to do? And for some of us, we still have routines. We have things day to day that are just kind of a part of the process. I've got that same thing too. It's a part of the linearity of world for some of us is perhaps going to a job and doing that thing. But there are things we can do, right, throughout all of this to help us restructure our lives or reorganize our lives outside of the discord. So the new light, right? The new alignment, the new refinement of us can move forward and through, because there is a divine order at play. And sometimes it feels like a structuring, a restructuring, a realignment, and or a shuffling outside of a lot of the arguments of what orders represent. But there is basically a higher level of trust that's communicating to all of us, and it's just up to us on how we get that message clearly. Because once again, this is about coherence through this entire experience. That is you.